an international school should really have international teachers from America, England, Australia, English-speaking countries, Canada. If you've got these teachers coming in, then the school is going to be giving a more modern, wider curriculum with different strategies coming from all these teachers that they bring. But if you've got an international school, the Portuguese international, where teachers speak English well, but have had all their education in Portugal, then you're almost getting the same as a private Portuguese school, but just English speaking. Yeah.
So, okay. And so we're anywhere from 3,000 to 20,000 a year. That's a big range. But on that below 10,000, I would say if you're coming from the United States or probably the UK, you've probably paid more than that in childcare in a year. So that sounds incredibly reasonable. And well, let's talk about those tests. So at the end of the day, they all have to take the same national exams if they want to go to a Portuguese university. How do these different schools stack up in terms of their competitiveness for students who want to go to university?
What do you mean?
Well, so are the test results better for students who are in an international school versus a Portuguese public school? How are we in terms of their, like, the end result, if we're grading them on that assessment, which I know there are problems with that, but if that's how they get into university, how are these students performing in these different types of schools?
Yeah, usually students that go to international schools will go to schools abroad. Some
Okay.
do stay, but normally in the international schools, they apply to schools in England or elsewhere. Not a lot of students stay in Portugal. So there's a different market, depending what universities you're applying to as well. Whereas the Portuguese will be applying to Portuguese universities. So I'm not sure if I can compare them exactly. In my experience, they're looking for different markets, both of the different students. You may get some that then do Erasmus but not many Portuguese students will end up going to a university abroad. Unless they're
Okay.
languages or they're learning languages and then they go to the
So
different
that's a really
countries.
interesting distinction, I think, because if you're an international family and you're coming to Portugal and sort of your expectation is your child will go to school wherever they want in the world because you're international, like you're not tied to the Portuguese system, having them in a Portuguese public school where all their colleagues, their school colleagues are going to be testing into a Portuguese university and that's like what they're being prepared for may not be setting them up for the path that at least you're envisioning for them.